This episode of Fertile Talks is sponsored by ilmeds.co, an international mail order pharmacy specializing in fertility medications. If you're looking to save significantly on your fertility treatments without compromising on quality, ilmeds.co is an excellent choice, offering up to 80% of retail prices. And as a special offer to our listeners, use the code FT24 at checkout to receive a $50 discount on your order. For your convenience, you can find a link to their website in the episode show notes. Thank you, and let's get started. Welcome to Fertile Talks, the global podcast celebrating the diversity of fertility journeys. I'm your host, Dr. Yemi Famuyiwa. Whether you're just starting or simply curious, this is your safe space. In each episode, we will bring you expert insights, heartfelt personal stories, and the latest in reproductive health. Our goal is to break down barriers, tackle stigma, and provide support and hope. So whether you're in the Americas, Africa, or Asia, Fertile Talks is your companion on the path to parenthood. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to Fertile Talks. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Famuyiwa. I'm your host of Fertile Talks. And today I want to talk about a topic that most people are not considering, and that is the rise of at-home hormone tests. Now, some of these hormone tests, they're usually, they've surged in popularity, and they offer individuals really unprecedented access to tools they believe will help them understand their bodies. They're marketed as convenient, empowering solutions to monitor fertility and general hormone health. These tests may seem like a valuable resource at first glance. However, the reality is a little bit more complex and nuanced than that. In many cases, these kits can create confusion, unnecessary stress, and even lead to harmful intervention. Now, while the promise of empowerment is really alluring, the at-home tests often fail to account for little nuances in hormone fluctuations. They fail to account for the presence of synthetic hormones in individuals. And also, they do not always take individual health context into the picture, right? So they may be made for everybody in general, but everybody's health may be a little different. So without medical oversight, the patients are often left to interpret the results that they're not equipped to understand and frequently assume the worst. So patients are often using some of these tests daily, particularly checking their urine hormones in an effort to gain insight into their health. However, I have seen individuals who are currently on birth control pills or even with a Mirena IUD in place who are taking this test, and those are hormonal things that can influence and distort the results that is obtained. And this leads to even greater misunderstanding. So many don't realize that hormonal contraceptive, especially IUDs like the Mirena, they release hormones locally, not systemically, right? And as a result, these tests often deliver results that are misleading or maybe really just meaningless, right? Leaving patients unnecessarily alarmed. So the problem with at-home tests, at-home kits are widely advertised as simple and accessible tools for self-monitoring. However, they have significant limitations that are often overlooked. One is there may be no medical necessity to monitor your hormones every day. And that is because sometimes hormones fluctuate throughout the day. We see what is called the diurnal rhythm, meaning they may be high in the morning and lower in the evening. They even fluctuate throughout the entire menstrual cycle, right? So for most people, there is little clinical benefit for checking your hormones daily because you cannot account for the rhythms that change, in particular for general wellness purposes. So constant testing sometimes just add unnecessary complexity and anxiety. Now there are some tests that can be used daily, and I'll go into that at the end of this talk. Sometimes I see patients who get misleading results. Hormones such as estrogen and progesterone are not necessarily accurately captured or reflected in the urine or saliva based tests. For women using hormonal contraceptives like the IUD or implants, this issue can be amplified. Synthetic hormones tend to behave differently from natural hormones. Often they fail to register accurately on these at-home tests. So patients will frequently misinterpret these unreliable results as abnormal when they may in fact be completely normal. Also, you have anxiety and cortisol overload, right? The combination of constant monitoring and self interpretation often leads to hyperfocus on perceived abnormalities. And this state of heightened stress elevates cortisol, which is the body's primary stress hormone. Elevated cortisol levels can trigger inflammation, which can exacerbate fatigue and weight gain. And then it perpetuates a cycle of stress and poor health. Then you have the risk of overdiagnosis and unnecessary intervention. So often misleading or misunderstood tests results may drive patients to seek unnecessary treatments, unnecessary supplementation, or medical intervention. A single hormonal measurement without any clinical context can do more harm than good. Lack of clinical context. Hormonal levels are so complex and inherently dynamic. So one-time test result has really little meaning without any comprehensive understanding of the patient's broader health history, symptoms, and overall medical picture, right? So how do we hold these at-home tests accountable, right? How do we make them responsible? The companies making at-home hormone tests have responsibility to educate uh, consumers about the limitations of these products. While they advertise empowerment and control, their failure to provide critical context leaves patients vulnerable to confusion and unnecessary anxiety. At a minimum, companies should clearly state that hormone fluctuations are normal. Companies should inform consumers that synthetic hormones, such as birth control pills, may not register accurately, right? Companies need to emphasize that these tests are not replacement for professional medical evaluation. Without this transparency, companies blur the line between patient empowerment and unregulated medical practice. Misleading marketing can have significant consequences, including unwarranted anxiety and stress, misguided self diagnosis, pursuit of unnecessary tests, medication, or treatments. So, by failing to provide this guidance, these companies contribute to a harmful cycle where patients feel less in control of their health, not more. So, rather than obsessing over hormone levels through unreliable at home tests, patients would benefit far more from focusing on proven strategies to support their overall health and hormonal balance, right? They can do things like seek stress reduction, right? So, because we know chronic anxiety elevates cortisol levels, worsening hormonal imbalances, and inflammation. Stress reducing activities such as mindfulness, therapy, meditation, and deep breathing exercises can have profound impact. Other things as prioritizing sleep, aiming for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep per night. Sleep is vital for reducing cortisol, regulating hormones, and improving overall well being. Should be encouraged to eat a balanced diet, a diet rich in fresh vegetables, fruits, and whole grains, nuts, and berries. Naturally supports hormonal regulation and overall health. So, incorporating daily movement, like light daily exercise, like 15 minutes walking, can really improve mental health and reduce inflammation and promote hormonal balance. And then also seeking professional care. So, genuine cares about hormone health. Um, for people who are really concerned, patients should consult a healthcare professional. Clinical evaluation, including blood test and symptom assessment, provide clearer picture than at home test, right? So, in conclusion, while at home hormone test kits promise empowerment, their limitations and potential for misuse often lead to unnecessary stress and confusion. Companies should take greater responsibility for the consequences of their products by providing clearer education about their limitations. For patients, real empowerment comes from accurate information, professional guidance, and a focus on holistic well being, not daily test strips that raise more questions than answer. By reducing anxiety, prioritizing stress management, and seeking professional support when needed, individuals can achieve a healthier, more balanced approach to hormonal health. So, the key takeaway: at home testing kits, when used without medical oversight, can create anxiety, confusion, and unnecessary intervention. Companies must take responsibilities for providing proper education on the limitations of their products, while patients should focus on proven strategies for wellness and consult professionals for reliable hormonal assessments. And I just wanted to go into this a little bit. I mentioned that there's only one instance I think daily monitoring may be helpful, and that would be for patients who are diabetic or pre-diabetic, who wear a continuous glucose monitor. I can see where that could be of use, because also not only is it warning you your glucose is going too high, but it also lets you create healthy habits that can, when you watch what you eat and you notice that your glucose levels are correlated with certain food, then you can learn new habits. So once again, I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and um, I hope to see you on the next episode. So please like, share, and subscribe to our podcast. Yours truly, Dr. Famuyiwa. Thank you for tuning in to Fertile Talks. We hope today's episode has provided you with valuable insights and support for your fertility journey. Remember, you are not alone. Now, if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, please simply leave us a comment. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe with a friend. Your ratings, your shares, and your reviews are greatly appreciated and is going to help us serve more of our listening audience. Thank you once again. This is Dr. Famuyiwa.